Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. My newest segment of Markets, A Look Ahead. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to outline a few things with you. I want to cover the mystery that is behind this Mar-a-Lago Accord and why Wall Street is getting all giddy about it. That's a bad sign, in my opinion. But again, I want you guys and girls to make up your own minds with regard to the Mar-a-Lago Accord and what is developing here. And I would love to hear from you. Is it a great idea? Is it not such a great idea? It is just a way to kick the can down the road. Is it a Ponzi scheme? You guys and girls let me know again at the end. Now, before we get there, you guys and girls know who have been with me for any length of time, I've been explaining for years that we're being pushed into a situation of extreme haves and extreme have-nots, a neo-feudalistic society here, and it's really unfolding very rapidly. Unfortunately, this is where we're going, and I don't see any way to stop it right now. And it's pretty evident that the economy of the world is being systematically and deliberately, at least in my opinion, love to hear yours, taken apart piece by piece by piece to create dependency on the system, something I've explained for years, slaves to the system, only to pull off some kind of bait and switch and thrust us into a new system, which I've been warning about since time immemorial, a system of control. And people, I really believe this, are going to be willing to sacrifice their freedoms and their liberties for the promise of some kind of stability. Now, this is not new, this concept that we're witnessing unfold in the United States and around the world. So be very careful, honestly, and pay attention to what's happening. Anyway, with regard to this two-tier society that is manifesting itself, this is Bloomberg. This came out on Friday. America's two-speed economy, how the rich are driving spending, plays right into what I've been trying to warn people about for years. Let me just read this to you. America's economy is now running on two separate tracks. The top 10% of households, those earning over $250,000 a year, account for half of all consumer spending and a third of GDP. This is incredible, really, according to Moody's Analytics. This concentration of spending power has reached record levels since tracking began in 1989. To me, this is a clear indication of exactly what I've been warning about for many, many years now, people, and it's accelerating. Look, man, do you like this? Do you want to have overlords? Because that's really what's going on here. And again, it's the wealth has to come from somewhere. Where's all this wealth coming from? Is it just being created? No. What do we know is going on? People, look at this headline here. The first quarter is on track for negative GDP growth. Our economy here, this is Friday, and the entire world, the economy of the world is contracting at its fastest pace on record. You're not allowed to know this is going on at the same time. What's happening? Global debt is ballooning. It's ballooning. And if you're anywhere, if you live anywhere in the world, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every single developed economy, there's a common denominator here. And I've been screaming from rooftops about this for the longest time. It's the mechanism here of currency purchasing power destruction on the back of artificially suppressed rates. I don't know another way to put this to you. And this is the greatest, most diabolic, in my opinion, wealth transfer scheme the world has ever seen. And it's not going to stop it's not going to stop. The eventual meltdown in the debt market, which is going to melt down the stock markets of the world, and we're just going to see the price action of suppressed assets skyrocket. We're going to see the debt market. I mean, everyone's going to run for the door at the same time. Yields spike in an uncontrolled fashion here. meltdown in the stock markets, and that isn't even the worst of it. The worst is we're going to face a moment of a locking up of the entire system, a credit freeze. When the flow of credit or debt stops moving to the system, everything locks up. You go look at your investment plans, zeros across the screen. You go look at your bank account, zeros across the screen. This is where I believe they're pushing us into. And maybe this Mar-a-Lago Accord has something to do with it. You guys and girls, again, make up your mind. Now, instantly what people are going to do, especially those that see no wrong in what's happening with Elon Musk and Trump, they're going to think just because of the title here, it's a good thing, Mar-a-Lago Accord. You could call it whatever you want. I'm going to outline for you in a moment what this actually is. And you guys and girls can, again, make up your own minds as to what's happening. So again, the economies of the world are contracting, debt is ballooning, and that's just the way it's going. Now, here's something else I want to bring to your attention real quick. So it looks like hedge funds are betting against the market here, betting that the market is going to continue to fall, the stock market. Now, there's no connection at all whatsoever between the economy and the market. It's astonishing to me that it appears that hedge funds don't seem to understand that. I guess, I don't know, maybe they need a wake-up call. I would be very, very hesitant to bet against this market right now. Even though it is in la-la land, it's totally disconnected from reality, has no basis on any fact or extrapolation of fact. It's just fake. You understand? Okay, there we go. But in my opinion here, we're going to see, unfortunately, a massive push to keep rates artificially suppressed. Even if, let's just throw a hypothetical out here, the Federal Reserve, we heard from Barkin, Federal Reserve Barkin, bark, who said, the inflationary situation is not working out the way we thought it would, like they really didn't see this coming. We did. How did they not? Okay. We may have to actually raise rates. Yes, this came out of Barkin's mouth, Fed President Barkin. What are they going to do? 25 basis points, 25? It's a joke. It's not going to make any difference whatsoever. Anyway, look, man, the bottom line is, I believe, and I want to hear from you on this too, that central banks, along with world leaders, are going to collude to continue to flood the world with more debt. Again, going back to Mar-a-Lago Accord. We really need to outline this. You know what? Let's just jump right into it right now. If you do subscribe to my newsletter, 100% free, this is in your inbox right now. And again, when you read through this, I'm going to cover this with you now, but please share this stuff. Get it out. This isn't for me. I know this stuff, obviously. I did the research. This is for you. For you. Everything is for you that I do. You understand? So anyway, look, let's cover this. Mar-a-Lago Accord. Now, I wrote, a real solution or just another Ponzi scheme? Now, you decide. Don't get triggered, anybody, just because of the name Mar-a-Lago Accord, and this is about Trump. It has nothing to do with Trump. I am going to outline what this is, so you guys and girls can make up your own minds. So just sit back, take a deep breath, and relax. Now, the world, this is how I start off, people. The world right now today is experiencing a rapidly worsening multi-crisis event. And at the top of this list, there are 5 interconnected dynamic forces in play. And these are, number 1, this is a worldwide phenomenon, an inflationary crisis. Number 2, a currency crisis. Number 3, a debt crisis. And this is what the Mar-a-Lago Accord is attempting to address specifically. Number 3, the debt crisis. Number 4, we have a liquidity crisis. And number 5, a growing inability to pay the interest on United States debt. And this plays right into number 3. The current debt crisis that we're in. First of all, does that sound right to you, what I just outlined, or I'm not getting it? If I'm not getting it and you do not believe that that is what's happening here, okay, can you read that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys and girls can let me know where I'm getting that wrong, all right? I appreciate your input there. We're stronger together. Now, these 5 simultaneous crises events listed above, which I just showed you, are obviously interconnected. And there are real solutions which could be implemented to fix the system. However, Instead of addressing these issues head on, which would mean, what would it mean to address it head on? Return purchasing power to the currency. The mechanism here of artificially suppressed rates, people, currency purchasing power losses is a wrecking machine for the global economy. Henceforth, why we're seeing things like this. I think we can all agree. Now, this is where this gets a little bit interesting. So now Wall Street is getting very excited about the idea of the rising possibility of a debt restructuring proposal known as the Mar-a-Lago Accord. The Mar-a-Lago Accord is a debt restructuring proposal. That's what it is. If someone asks you, hey, whoever you are, have you heard of the Mar-a-Lago Accord? Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. Can you tell me very briefly what the Mar-a-Lago Accord is? Okay, here's your answer for that person. If you want to just look a little smart, it's a debt restructuring proposal. Sounds good, doesn't it? Of course, we want to restructure the debt. We'd like to get rid of it, but that's not what this does. But again, here we go. So now let's see why Wall Street is getting so excited about the Mar-a-Lago Accord. The fact that Wall Street, again, is getting excited about this and wants to see this happen should tell you that more than likely this is not going to benefit you unless you live to 100 years old or 100 years from now. However old you are, in 100 years from right now, you may see a benefit, and I'm not joking. So let's talk about why Greg just came up with this number of 100 years. So looking at the list at the top of this page, the Mar-a-Lago Accord addresses 2 of the 5 crisis situations that we just listed. 2 of these. And I just put where, look at number 3, okay, and then look at number 5. This is what the Mar-a-Lago Accord addresses. Let us move forward here. The core premise of the Mar-a-Lago Accord is as followed. The Mar-a-Lago Accord is a debt restructuring model. That's what you're going to tell people who ask you what the Mar-a-Lago Accord is. It is an attempt to pause or offer foreign creditors who are by and large foreign nations who own large amounts of U.S. debt in the form of long-term treasury notes to swap these out. This is where it gets amazing. To swap these out, their long-term treasury notes, for special, they're very special, extra long-term treasuries, and here's how it would work. Creditors, in this case mostly foreign nations, okay, would be offered the opportunity to own, by swapping out the bonds they currently hold, into 100-year, non-tradable, 0 coupon bonds. What this means is these 100-year bonds would pay no interest. 0. Yeah, you read that right. I actually wrote that. You read that right. You read that right. So who would want to do this? Let's talk about that. Instead, these ultra-long 100-year bonds would be sold at a discount to their face value, which would make them attractive to someone who wants to invest in a 100-year bond here. And the only way to recoup the investment on these 100-year bonds would be to hold them to maturity, which means 100 years. So eventually, the debt on those bonds would become due, but not for 100 years. What do you think of that? Let's move forward here. Obviously, the only creditors who would be interested in holding 100-year bonds would be foreign nations. So what's the perk? There is a perk here. And I don't like the perk. Let me read to you what the perk is. Perk is the ability to borrow against the bond in the form of a loan directly from the Federal Reserve at near 0 interest. So what does this do? It will make the Fed stronger. Key point. Here's the issue and why this is being looked into and why Wall Street likes this idea. Indeed, via this mechanism of debt restructuring under the Mar-a-Lago Accord, this would absolutely work. People, this would absolutely work to reduce paying interest on the U.S. debt. Sounds obvious to you? However, it would not prevent the debt itself from expanding, and I mean expanding. As a matter of fact, it might expand much further. Now you don't have to pay interest on the debt, but anyone who's, again, buying these 100-year bonds is going to defer those payments. We won't have to pay the interest on that for 100 years. In fact, we won't have to pay any interest at all. These are being sold at face value, okay? I'm sorry, below their market value or face value, and then in 100 years, the debt will become due. It's an amazing kind of a concept. So in your opinion, is the Mar-a-Lago Accord a real solution to the debt crisis? I wrote America's debt crisis, or just another Ponzi scheme? It may be just, it looks like a combination of, it's a temporary Band-Aid, in my opinion. It's no solution, obviously. Debt will expand exponentially. It does bear the markings of a Ponzi scheme, quite obviously, because we have to borrow to pay the debt one way or the other. And it also could be a major way to kick the can down the road for 100 years. For 100 freaking years. So anyway, look, man, you guys and girls, this is in your inbox right now. I want you to read through this. Make up your own mind as to what this is. What is this in your view? Will this benefit people in the long run? I think the obvious answer is pretty obvious. This is there's no solution here, but Wall Street is really liking this idea, and that tells me that it's more likely going to happen. Wall Street always gets what it wants. You know that. Well, let us move forward, people. Now, I put this out earlier to all of you. I'm considering this, and initially I put out that I would actually charge for this, but I don't like that idea. I'm trying to figure out a way I can do this for you for free. Where are you going to get something like this for free, people? If there's a way to do it, believe me, I'm going to figure it out. Let me read this to you. So portfolio analysis and specific technical analysis for swing traders. So I wrote Lions. I am considering possibly getting into personal portfolio analysis and even specific technical analysis regarding a particular stock or ETF. With portfolio analysis, I would need all the ticker symbols in your portfolio. For example, Greg, I own Apple, ExxonMobil, Costco, LMT. I need the ticker symbols, and so on. And with this information, I would be able to analyze what you can expect with regard to growth potential. All right, sounds fair enough, right? Now, with stock or ETF analysis, and this would be beneficial to swing traders. I was a swing trader for a very, very long time, so I'm pretty adept at doing this. I can break down potential price movements from, say, 1 week out to a month based on a particular stock or an exchange-traded fund. Greg, as an example, can you give me a technical breakdown of ticker XYZ and make a price prediction based on time frame up to 1 month? Now, with portfolio analysis, depending on how many positions are involved, it may take me from several days to several weeks to break it down for you. That's the truth. Now, with regard to technical analysis on a particular stock or exchange-traded fund, possibly a day or two, maybe less, depending on how much work I have to have. Initially, I said that how could I possibly offer something like this for free? So I wrote, I wish that I was able to do this for free. However, this would require a lot of time and significant amount of work. But I'm going to figure out a way. If I can do this for free, somehow, and I have a few ideas that I can maybe do. And I'll send this information out in my newsletter. So if you have not subscribed to my newsletter, please do that. Link in the description of this video. I'm going to make this happen again. I'm all about offering information to people for free. I think the best things in life are free. And I think the more people do things for other people that would benefit them and really would benefit all of us for free, the better off we're all going to be. Does that sound about right to you? So I'm going to work on this, all right? I'm already a guy who's immersed in so many things, and I have no life and no time, unfortunately, other than drag racing once in a while. But I'm going to work that into my my repertoire. So just look out for something like this. I may take a particular stock or an exchange traded fund and do a breakdown technically on it and then post it to my newsletter, or maybe a particular sector of the market, maybe come up with a potential portfolio that would benefit from the current environment. and then post it for free. You know what I mean? Obviously, this is going to take work on my part, but I've already told you, man, I am 100% dedicated to you, all of you out here. This is a beautiful thing that we've created, and I'm going to make this work even better than it is already for all of us. And we have done it amazingly well. Now, people, look, the beginning of every single month, I humbly ask for your support. Hey, Greg, you know what? You're doing a really great job here. I want to support your work. All I ask for, and this is dwindling, unfortunately. I understand people are hurting right now big time, but if you're able, all right, all I ask for is $5 a month, $5. Okay, and there's multiple ways to do this. There are several links in the description of this video where you can click on one of those. Again, all I'm asking for is $5, and that will help me bring something like this to you. You understand that I can do for free. So help me help you. And again, this is not compulsory. If you're able to, $5 a month, beginning of every month, I ask for your assistance with this here. And I do really appreciate it. Anyway, with that said, people, I hope you do choose to support my work if you're able to. And I'm going to make this a reality for everybody. I really am. I have some good ideas with this. All right. With that said, people, listen, I hope you got something out of this. I hope you understand the Mar-a-Lago Accord. I want to hear from you on this 100-year bonds with no coupon. You buy these at a discount to face value, and then in 100 years, obviously the debt will become due, and then you'll receive face value. Who knows what it will be at that point? It's just kind of an interesting concept, man. But anyway, Wall Street seems to be getting its head around this and likes it. Is it a good idea? Let me know. All right. Love you from the heart with all I got, people. I mean that. I will see all of you in the morning. I promise. And we got this. Let them play their games. We're going to play ours too. That's it. I'll see you in the morning.